think we want to actually not just do a zoom in of the drilling, but just more of the process. How's it going, everybody? We're going to video a little bit of a project that we've been putting off for like too long. On our stairs, I'm going to build a stair rail out of steel. So we've got rounded stairs on the bottom and then our oak ones at the top, but we've never actually had a handrail except younger times when our kids were little before we put the oak on. So I'm going to put some steel railings in here. I got one this, I'll show you how it would kind of start. So these are 3x3 posts, and they'll be mounted onto the steps like that. There'll be one up here and one there. This one here, I'm going to, I already cut this is an 1.5 by 3 box, goes straight down through everything so I can anchor it down in, and I'll weld it to here so that she's rock solid so that nothing can move and kids can swing on, all that kind of crap, right? And we're gonna put another one up here in the very same place on the tread so that it's evenly spaced, and then put, so if you come up here from that angle, I don't know what'll work best. And I'm gonna have a 1.5 by 3 box that goes down here and here, weld them in, and then some smaller ones. And then another one here. And another one here, over here. And then weld it all in. So it's gonna be a go build as you go, and then weld it in place. So when it's done, and tough enough that you can slide down or climb or pull or whatever. It won't bend or break. So hopefully we won't take another 20 years to finish it. So got it welded on. So we'll poke it in here and see how close we are for fitting and level. What do you think? Ah!
Looks good.
That's what we want, is tough. Like me. You see that? How it's perfectly in the bubble? That's the way it's supposed to be. That level up there didn't work, I don't think.
This one?
I think we're good. Cool. That's the first part. Looking good, eh?
Mm-hmm.
That's Canadian for looking good, hey? So now I'll bolt it in at the bottom so it can't even do that. Marking a couple cuts so I can cut this tubing into the pieces for the posts. Marked it at 44 inches, machinist scribe. And then I'll mark on all sides. And then, to see it better, run some chalk into it. And you can see the line really well when you run with the zip cut. So I can keep it half square. Hey, so then now I can see those lines real good. And then I'll zip cut it off. There's some little tension in the steel. Okay, so here's the bottom of the posts. I'm going to stand on the railing. This is the floor. This is concave here, so that when the lag bolt comes through the floor, the tension is on the perimeter, so that it can't rock back and forth when it's standing. And gonna just run them through with these 3/8 lag bolts, so it'll come in from the floor or come in from above straight on through the floor, tight in, and then Then they'll be secured down, and then everything is welded together, so it'll be stronger. But then now I'm going to weld, obviously, all this in here and then dress it so that it'll stand flat on the floor. Okay, so we've got our posts ready, got our hole center drilled, and you're zoomed in probably too much now, right? Marked it very carefully where it stands and everything else. There's the center, so I'm going to drill. You probably could just stay out looking at the whole thing. So there's the center, so I'm going to drill a small hole for my lag bolt, and then a little bit bigger right in the surface so I don't crack my oak. But it stands perfect. That's exactly where it needs to be, and when you line up down there, it's perfectly parallel to the post below. So that's good. So we'll bolt this one down with my 4-foot extension all the way down through, and then we'll put the next post right here, and then we'll put one over in the wall. Progression. Oh, wait. In order to... because it has to fit together, right? Are you videoing that still? Mm-hmm. It's gonna be too long, but okay. Need a hand to poke. Yay, so that's in place, so then I'll sunk it down a bit. Then I'll check it for square and everything else. Now, how far it is. Hey, so that's where it belongs, but I'll need to grind that foot about 32nd of an inch so that it's sitting exactly level. Because if you don't have it dead level, it'll always want to sit crooked, right? So you gotta have it perfect to begin with. Anyway, looking good. Only takes 20 years to do it right. So next phase is putting all these other pillars in. We put these ones in yesterday, but then it took a whole bunch of math to figure out when all of the bottom and the top and all of this rods come in from the side at a diagonal at spacing of such and such. How does it play out as far as the change in angle? So that's all done. So we know how it's going to look in the end. And I'm putting a beam here, and then we'll weld all the big stuff in. So this is the final chunk of box beam to go in against here. This is where the 1.5 by 3 inch material goes top and bottom, and then this square stuff goes in here, which matches so that there's good lines. And I drilled some 3/4 inch holes so the socket will fit, and 3/8 holes in the back so you can run some lag bolts straight on through, pre-drilled. So the next phase is to bolt them in, kind of. It's not quite that simple though, because we also have the issue of being square against the wall this way. Have to make sure it's exactly square here, otherwise it's twisted funny. There's the next phase. One of the issues we're going to have is, so I had to finish this for the finished height of everything before I started, right? Because you can't weld it or grind it after it's all done. One of the issues we'll need to verify though is that it's actually squared against the wall that way, right? Like that it's not cocked in that way because drywall always was mud on the shoulders. Make sure it stays square. At this point it needs to come out as 16th probably. So figure out how to fix that so it's permanent and solid. Okay, so I missed a little bit of videoing yesterday. I welded these two in. I'm going to weld this in here next, and I'll weld the bottom one, and then we'll weld in the top, or the two runs down the stairs. So maybe just swing around and look from this angle. We just got our clamp just so that everything is perfectly square and level to each other. We'll weld her up, as long as the smoke alarm doesn't go off again. Which never happens, right?
No.
Except for when the breaker's on. Okay.
So yes.
Closer. Okay, so we got the corners welded in, and here's the new piece to fit in here. See how good we are. Sharp anyway. Just like that. It's supposed to be 1.5 inches away, which it is. So then we'll weld it in here, and then we'll build the top one, and we fill in all the other stuff. Looking good, eh? And look what we got. Done. Just gotta weld it now.
Woohoo.
And then slide down. Well, we'll trim it afterwards anyway, or clean up the welds afterwards anyway. It's hard to see it. They're so tiny. All the professional welders will be able to tell by the sound if it's right or not. Ah, finally a good weld. I'll weld the bottom there. drives me nuts. That hurt. One more. Okay. So that's I think I'll put a brace in the middle here on these, but looks kind of cool, eh?
Yeah.
I have to be able to work tomorrow.
So here's the final product. It looks okay. Don't look real close at the welds. I could certainly do better, but really happy with how it turned out. It's really strong, really sturdy, nice and plain, nice and simple, but looks good, I think. Okay, there we are. So it's again the 3x3 box beam, 1.5 inches by 3 with 1/2 by 1/2. Those of you who are musical, you'll notice that there are 5 lines, just like music staff. So, but she's nice and sturdy. Like you can't, oops, sorry, you can't wiggle it at all. It's really, really, really sturdy and strong. And weld her all up. I think we're probably just gonna polish the whole thing and treat it like with a gun glue. But that's the final ending. So it's bolted into the wall there. You can't see the bolts. It's welded in both of those places, anchored through the floor in both of those places, and welded together so that it cannot be wiggled. So as a child, you slide on down, grab and swing, and there you have it. If you want to build one after this design, you'll be satisfied with how it looks in the end, I think. So thanks for checking it out. Hope you enjoyed the video.